Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 Audi RS5 Sportback with the competition package. Huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. So this RS5 is finished off in a Sebring black crystal effect. MSRP is just over $94,000. Now this is powered by the 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 444 horsepower, 432 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the Quattro all-wheel drive system, propelling this nearly 4,000-pound Sportback from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. With the comp package, top speed is increased to 180 miles an hour. This also has a fuel capacity of 15.3 gallons. You'll expect to see 18 miles per gallon in the city, 25 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 111.3 inches. Its overall length is 188.3. It has a width of 73.5 and a height of 55.1 inches. Now as we take a look at the exterior styling, you get quite a lot with that competition package as well as the driver assistance package. So if we look at the window sticker briefly, we have the 20-inch wheels, coilover suspension, all of the RS components like the brakes, the exhaust, all of the matte carbon fiber interior with all the leather and the Alcantara, and then that driver assistance package. That comp package is about 10 grand, but you get quite a lot with it. Now up front, you'll notice that the Audi badge is blacked out. There's a forward-facing camera, RS5 logo. The entire grille is finished off in gloss black too, where there's plenty of cutouts. Now there's also LEDs for the headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. And then you'll notice the sensors in the lower section are for the distance pacing. So they're tucked away nicely with the rest of the gloss black and even some carbon fiber accents with inlets there to provide better cooling for this. And then there's 4 distinctive lines that come down the hood, just giving it a very good front end design. Now this model also has those wheels with a really neat design to those spokes, along with being two-tone, and there's the RS red brake calipers too. Now this also has carbon fiber for the power folding side mirrors. There's the turn signal and a camera too. RS5 badge is just in front of that. And then this does have a sunroof. All the window trim is gloss black, even the lower section too, which blends in with the rest of this vehicle. And then there's a very crisp point running just above the door handles all the way to the back, where this does have a gloss black spoiler. There's the backup camera, LEDs for the taillights, there's all the parking sensors, and then the dual exhaust, and you get more carbon fiber along with the gloss black accents. Now as we work our way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob or the one up underneath, and with this Sportback you actually get that hatchback design, so it doesn't open like a normal trunk, giving you a ton of storage, almost like it's an SUV. So you have a lot of space even with the back seats up. You have a storage net, large cargo lights, there's also some straps too. You get a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you needed to use that, and then of course you can fold the back seats down to give yourself that much more interior space. So if this is your only vehicle, it's very practical to place in larger items as well as having people too, so it doesn't really hinder the roof line there. Now this also has the proximity door handle so you can lock and unlock it. And with that comp package, you get more carbon fiber, all the Alcantara and leather, Bang & Olufsen for the audio, and storage down below. And then to take a look at the Alcantara and Napa leather seats with the red seat belts too, which is a great touch. Now I have plenty of space at 5'10". There's also storage nets, vents in the middle, along with the temperature adjustments. These are heated seats. There's auxiliaries down below. And I am just barely touching the headliner. So again, it doesn't really hinder your head space if you're any taller than me, of course, but it's still very practical for people to be in the back. Now there's also the armrest where you get a little bit of storage, and then the individual cup holders to pop out on both sides. You can also lower the middle seat if you need that down for whatever reason. And then you have some pretty thin pillars with that additional window back there to give you more visibility. Now up front, the door panel has the addition of the memory seating controls. Power folding side mirrors are also heated. There's all the window controls, trunk release, and more storage. And then this even gets massaging seats along with the rest of the automatic adjustments. RS is up in the top. Very nice bolstering support for these sport bucket seats. And then this also gets Alcantara for the entire steering wheel. There's paddle shifters on both sides, and then you have a lot of controls to go over after we start this up. So let's take a listen to how the RS5 sounds. And coming back to the virtual cockpit now, for the current setup, you'll notice power and torque on the right. The tach is right in the middle, along with miles per hour and what gear you're in. And then there's info over on the left side that you can go through using these controls here. So I can scroll down, so you can pull up all of these vitals, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then you can use the arrows to go over to view the rest of this. If you push on view, that will bring everything up in full screen. So now you can go through the rest of this information in a little bit larger of a view, just depending on what you would like to see. Now, if you push on the lower button, that's actually a favorites control. So you can adjust what you would like this section here to be, depending on what you use, and then you have the scrolling dial too. Now on the right side, there's volume and tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands. You have the heated steering wheel and the RS settings. So that will change the gauge cluster here for RS1 and RS2, and then you go back into the normal setting when you are out of that. So if you need a little bit more sporty of a vibe, you can do that. There's cruise control and distance pacing on the left side, along with storage, more carbon fiber with your headlight controls. There's also the head-up display adjustment. So you can turn that on and off, and you can easily adjust the height of it. There's one air vent too. And then as we work our way back to the infotainment system, you have this split design where you can go through all of these icons here, depending on what you need to use for the day. The most favorite one is vehicle, because you can get into the drive select, go through RS1 and RS2, customize those, and get into the different driving modes. And then you have your seats, driver assistance, a few others to go through, along with these shortcuts located on the left side. Now there's an air vent that runs continuously to the passenger side with more carbon fiber accents. There's a small LCD screen where you can adjust all of your climates, along with the temperature dials. These are even heated seats, and you have a few other controls. There's a shortcut to the drive select, so you can pull that up. There's traction control, parallel parking. You can turn on and off the parking sensors and shut that upper screen off if you would like to. A few auxiliaries down below, along with 2 cup holders and some storage behind that. You get more Alcantara on the shifter. So if we put this into reverse, there's a top-down view, and then you have the various angles here depending on what you need to see. There's drive and sport mode, so you can shift using this or the paddle shifters, and then park is located on the back. There's the e-brake, volume and tuning, a little bit of storage, and then you can actually see within the center armrest where you have the wireless charger on auxiliary and additional space. You can also slide this forwards and backwards as needed. You get more storage in the glove box, garage door buttons up top, touch sensitive dome lights, and then the controls for the sunshade and the sunroof. Both of those are automatic. And then here's a look at visibility. With that additional window back there, it's pretty easy to see over both pillars, so you really don't have any blind spots. As we set off now behind the wheel for the RS5 Sportback with the comp package, I got to drive the coupe version several months ago, so now we get to experience it with the full 4 doors. This is a really sweet coupe-like sedan hatchback from Audi. Now with this model too, I'm surprised even with that $10,000 comp package, it's still under $100,000, which I think is pretty good for its numbers and what it has to offer, being under 6 figures. Still an expensive vehicle, of course, but especially when you compare it to the competition. And as we take this turn here, just at a normal speed, I mean, there is no body roll for this 4,000-pound vehicle, so it handles its weight well. We also have that sport suspension too, which is going to help, and a lot of nice materials in that comp package. I think it's worth it for what you are getting. Seems to be a lot of functional and performance aspects, some cosmetics like the wheels, of course, and the carbon fiber, but I think there's quite a lot for that package. But as far as what it's like to drive this would make for a great daily driver. It's super comfortable and quiet. It's well refined as you expect from an Audi, but you are also going to get a lot of those performance aspects. So if you're looking for a very practical vehicle, especially having that hatchback design, and this is a vehicle that might be your only vehicle, it's a great option to go with. And it also sounds pretty good too. And the shifts are quick. That wasn't even a hard acceleration by any means, and it definitely can get up and move. This has so much potential for it, and from that V6, you're getting a lot of power. In a world where vehicles are going towards hybrids, they're ditching the V8s even. We have the twin turbo V6 here, which can pump out a lot more power. These seats are also very comfortable too. I like the support that they have to offer. Steering wheel is in a good spot here. We have the manual adjustment for it, but with the Alcantara, it definitely has a good feel to it. It's pretty easy to see too. For that hatchback style, you still get that sedan look. So the visibility isn't really hindered by anything. I can easily see out of that back glass there. And its handling, you would feel like you're in a two-door sports car. It handles very well. You really can't even think about the back half of it because it seems to corner well. Now I'm just going at normal speeds here, but this is definitely a vehicle that you can rip on the back roads, take to the track, and then just have a comfortable vehicle to drive every day. And we are still in the manual setting, second gear. Here we go. And a mild acceleration, the paddles again are super quick. So they're very responsive and you really can't feel them both on the up and downshift. So it's a smooth shifting vehicle, but they're very crisp and very quick. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the RS5 Sportback. Definitely a nice place to be if you're looking for a luxury focused vehicle, especially with the comp package. You have quite a lot of options. Now, of course, you can spec it lower than this, just depending on your budget and what you would like. So we have a pretty much fully loaded RS5 with that added package. And it's been great to drive. Now we do have the massaging seats, which I did forget to mention. So you can activate those. You have 3 different options there to choose from depending on what you would like. So if you're going on a long cruise, you can use those as needed just to be a little bit more comfortable in these seats. But it rides very nice. Now I have had it in dynamic mode, or auto actually. So let's put it into a dynamic. Now I may not be able to feel anything on the straight road here, but you are going to feel a little bit of a difference. You'll also hear the exhaust note change in dynamic, and you'll have a little bit more throttle response too. So you can play around with those settings, customize everything depending on the driving that you are doing. But it's a really nice vehicle, something, again, super practical if you want to keep something that is performance oriented, but you need the added space. So if you're not looking for just a two-door vehicle like the RS5 Coupe that I reviewed a couple months ago, you can have a little bit easier of access into those back seats with the Sportback version. And then we'll do a quick maneuverability test here. We have a pretty wide road. We do not have any rear wheel steering for this model, but it's not a large vehicle, so it's going to be easy to maneuver in general. And then let's give it one more acceleration for today's video. And here we go. And just like that, we are back up to speed. That is going to wrap it up for the 2025 Audi RS5 Sportback. Once again, huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.